What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing not one, but two separate different looks for you guys today using the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. Now the packaging is gorgeous, and you're going to get 21 eyeshadows inside of here. So I'm very excited about doing two different looks for you guys. This was the first look. This is like the purpley, peachy, metallic-y kind of copper going on look moment, and the next one is going to be definitely a little bit more intense. So of course, if you want to see both looks that I did today, including some swatches and my final thoughts on this palette, then you're going to have to keep on watching. My base, highlight, and everything is on. We're just going to dive right into the first look because I've decided to do two different looks for this palette because there's so many different colors to choose from, and I just wanted to do two separate looks for you guys. So today we're going to be diving into the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. Packaging is absolutely stunning, and all the photos are actually from the people who work at the UDHQ and all their traveling areas and the photos they've taken. It's very, very stunning. Then when you open it up, you're going to get 21, yes, 21 eyeshadows. We have some bolds, we have a lot of neutrals, we have some peachy tones, some warm tones, purpley tones, we got some green and cool tones. We got a lot of different options in this palette. So this is a massive palette. I think so far, this is probably the most visually stunning palette that Urban has done in a very, very long time, in my personal opinion. I feel that there's just so much to look at and so much to do with this palette, so I'm very excited. But before we dive right in, let me show you guys some swatches because I know you guys love that. So this is the top row. This is Breakaway, Stranded, Blaze, Weekender, Still Shot, Riff, Good as Gone. So for the second row, we have Hellride, Baja, Accelerate, Guilt Trip, Ignite, Smog, and Wanderlust. In the last row, we have Wild Heart, Punk, Double Life, Jet, Drift, Radio, and Big Sky. The mattes definitely had to pick up a little bit more pigment, but the metallics were gorgeous, one slight pigment. The mattes were about 2 layers, so still pretty good. So now, we're just gonna get started, shall we? So I think I want to do like a peachy, purpley eye. Like I want to do like a peachy mix with purple kind of thing going on. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Still Shot first.
Burn it down. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder.
Now for more in the crease, we're going to go in with the shade Hellride.
I killed it, it's murder.
I killed it, it's murder. Go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder. Go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder. Go crazy, berserker.
Got kind of a base going on. I'm just gonna let you know Hellride and Still Shot, the two shades I used, did have a lot of a powder kickback, but it just depends on the mattes, and of course I really didn't mind it as much because I was able to blow it away and it's fine. So now we're just gonna dive right in to the shade Punk right here, which is like a deep brown, and that one's gonna be for my outer corners.
I killed it, it's murder. Go crazy, berserker.
Just to test it out, I'm going to go in with the metallic shade Ignite right here.
Change the station with a new shit. Show them.
So I did apply it with a wet brush a little bit, and I did use my finger, so it does look a lot better. By itself, dry, it is not as pigmented as I wanted it to be, so just let you know, definitely spray your brush with a setting spray, or of course, with your finger. So, now it is time for the lower lash line. I'm going to go back in with this shade Hellride right here, mix a little bit of Punk right there as well.
Change the station with a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit.
Inner corner of Backbone highlight, I want to go in with one of the prettiest shades in the palette, and that is going to be Stranded right here.
it's murder.
Eye look is pretty much done. I'm going to go throw on some mascara and some lashes, and I'll be right back. Oh, and a lip. Then I'll be right back. Here is the final look. For the first look, I threw on like a nice pinky kind of nude color, and I'm actually really liking the way this looks. I will say really quick though, the shade Hellride and Punk were kind of giving me a lot of issues just because purples are very hard to make. And the shade Punk just really didn't give enough intensity for it being such a dark brown. They swatched great, but of course it depends on how you apply them, what brushes you use, and what base you have, and etc. But honestly, all in all, the eye look still came out really good. It came out better than I was thinking it was going to. Does that make sense? So even though I had a little bit of minor setbacks with this palette, so far so good. Now of course we are going to dive right into the second look. For some reason I made my brows a little bit too thick today, but don't have time to change them. Anyways, we're going to dive right into the second look with this Urban Decay Born to Run palette. And so I really don't know where I want to start with. I really just don't know because I want to do something more bolder, maybe more green or blue. So I guess we could just start with the shade Riff in the Crease.
We're gonna burn it down.
We got that shade on, which actually went on it really beautifully. I think I want to make it a little bit smoky, obviously. I really want to go in with the shade Good As Gone.
Burn it down. We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. I killed it. It's murder.
I'll say the shade Good As Gone went on really beautifully. It went on a lot better than the shade Punk, the one that I did for my first look. I don't know, that one wasn't like patchy, but it just wasn't building up to the best of its ability, I guess I would say. But honestly, so far so good. We're getting some smoky vibes going on, a little tiny cut crease action if you will. But we're going to go right in with the lid color, obviously. I want to go in with the shade Wanderlust right here, which is like really, really, really metallic green.
I killed it. It's murder. I killed it. It's murder. I killed it. It's murder.
I killed it, it's murder, go crazy.
Emerald green is on. It actually looks really pretty. When I do wet the brush, it does come out a little bit more reflective. And also if you use your finger, you definitely can get a little bit more intensity. But by itself, it does have a lot of fallout. So I'll just let you know that right now. So you do have to like kind of sweep away some of the extra fallout whenever you get a chance. So now we're going to dive right into a little bit of inner corner fun. I'm going to go in with the shade Big Sky.
I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder.
Now for highlight on the brow bone, I'm going to go in with a mixture of Breakaway and maybe a little bit of Stranded.
Go crazy, berserker.
Show them.
Outer corner just a little tiny bit. I want to go in with the shade Jet, which is the nice rich black.
Change the station with the new shit.
For my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with the shade Good As Gone, and I might throw a little bit of the shade Smog.
Show them. Change the station with the new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with the new shit. With the new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with the new shit.
Now that the eyes are pretty much done, I'm going to throw on some mascara and some lashes and a lip, and I'll be right back. This is the final look. I threw on a very, very, very light nude lip, and this is actually Kylie Cosmetics Libra. I just like the shade a lot, and the formulation is good, don't get me wrong. So now, let's just talk about the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, because obviously this is my second look, so I got a chance to try out more shades. I used Riff, Good As Gone, Wanderlust, Big Sky, Smog, and Jet for this look. And my last look, and also Stranded. And I also used Breakaway. And my last look, I used Hellride, Wild Heart, Baja, Still Shot, Ignite, and Punk. So all in all, I use a good majority of these shadows for both of my looks. Now, I will say some of the shades were, you know, okay. Some of them were a little bit patchy. Some of them didn't blend as easily as I wanted them to. And then some of them worked really good. All in all, I mean, the formulation was better than what I've seen from Urban Decay in the past. For example, they had the Distortion palette. They had the Backtalk palette, they had the Heavy Metal palette. Those were awful. In my opinion, they were not up to Urban Decay standards, and they just were not good palettes. This one is, so far, a pretty good palette. Honestly, if you're a fan of Urban Decay and you want some options when you travel, this is a great go-to palette. I mean, you get 21 shadows in here, and it just has such a cute packaging. It's nice and sturdy. It's pretty heavy, too, and you get a massive mirror inside of here as well. So this palette retails for $49, and now that I've gotten a chance to play with a lot of the shades, what do I think of it? Do I recommend it, etc.? Honestly, packaging-wise, it's stunning. Just from the packaging alone, I think it's just a beautiful visual piece. But then the shadows itself, you have so many different options as well. You can do so many different looks with it. But at the same time, I do like that the shadows are very versatile. Now, like I said, other than the kickback with the glitters, other than the kickback with the pans, and other than some of the shades not working to the best of its ability, I still recommend this palette. The reason being is because I like Urban Decay. I've always been a fan of Urban Decay. Even though some of their products have been lacking for me recently, this one just has such a unique vibe to it, and I'm just obsessed with the whole idea of it, the concept of it, and the shadows are beautiful in my opinion, and they also swatched really nicely too. So anyways, this one retails for $49. You can pick this up in store, you can pick it up online. I just think that it's such a beautiful and visually stunning palette, and I like it. I'm definitely going to be using it again in the future. I know that that's another thing I'm going to start saying in my videos now, is that when I recommend it and when I continue to use it, yes, I will continue to use it and play with it and see what I really think of it throughout the time that I play with it. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed these two different looks that I did for this palette. Make sure you thumbs it up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the very near future. Love you. Bye.